Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, the editor-in-chief of Total Retail, and I'm joined on today's episode by Scott McCabe, the Senior Vice President of E-commerce at True Religion. Scott and I are going to be discussing the launch of True Religion's mobile app. So thanks for joining me on today's show, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So to get us started, can you go ahead and tell our audience, I think most are probably familiar with the True Religion brand, but for those that might not be, just a quick overview of the brand.
Sure. So True Religion is, it's an iconic denim apparel and accessories brand. We just turned 20 years old this year. So we started it right here in Los Angeles, California, and we're famous for our stitch. And it dramatically changed everything in 2002 with the big T stitch, and for 5-pocket denim, our horseshoe logo, the smiling Buddha symbol. And then, right now we're in this amazing transformation, if you will, around digital first, and becoming more in touch with our 150 million customers who are already wearing True Religion alone, making sure that we're there for them in the way that they want to be. In 2002, we didn't walk around with our cell phones to find products. So we're here now. Our customer spans from 15 to 50 years old. So we're hitting everybody, which is great to see. And it's really fun to be a part of that.
So as you think about that transition that you mentioned, Scott, and becoming digital first, part of that, and you mentioned walking around now we do have those cell phones in our hands all the time, it seems like. So leads into the announcement of the launch of True Religion's mobile app. Can you talk about kind of why launching an app was a strategic priority for the business?
It was and is a strategic priority for True Religion because more than 80% of our traffic and orders come through a mobile device. We're very, our customer is very much into social media. They're into influencers, they're into TikTok, they're in all those places. So it made a lot of sense for us to talk to our customers and find out, what can we do to make it easier for you? And that helped us learn that getting an app and creating an app that created an easier shopping experience for our consumer was the way to go.
So as you think about it, let's talk through the process of getting from point A to, point A being you have identified that there's that statistic you just cited, 80% of the traffic coming from mobile devices, to, okay, we're ready to launch an app. There's obviously a lot of work that needs to be done in between there. Can you talk about the internal process for getting the app launched and developed, and kind of talk about who were the stakeholders were, what kind of that timeline looked like, the goals that you've set? So I know that's a multi-part question, so maybe you want to take that piece by piece in terms of kind of thinking about it from idea to execution.
Sure. So that is a lot of answers there. I would say that our primary stakeholder was the customer. I truly believe in customer first, and we're going to win. So the process again was like looking at the data, understanding where is our traffic coming from on what device, and then where are they making that purchase. What we've seen in the past is many people will browse on their mobile device, and then they'll go to their desktop to complete the order. It's easier typing in all the the form fields you have to fill in to place your order. What we were noticing was more and more people were starting to check out on the mobile app. So we talked to our consumers and we listened to what they had to say. They wanted an easier shopping experience. And when we started investigating the various options, do we build in-house? Do we go outside, hire an agency, platform, et cetera? With this environment that we live in, this digital environment, especially in apps where and we all have way too many apps on our phones that just are collecting digital dust. So making sure that we had the flexibility and the agility to fine tune and create experiences that evolve with the customer's behavior was very important to us. So our decision was to go out and go with one of the industry leaders in mobile app development and hosting, et cetera, and a partner of theirs to make that experience come to life. We did not have, we were not experts in app development by any means. So leaning into that expertise to me was really important that the team was able to do that. Internally, our key stakeholders, of course, were our IT team, our technology group, our technology leaders, as well as our brand marketing team, our CEO, of course. And we included, of course, the merchants, right? We want to make sure that the product that we're selling on the app is meaningful. And we do want there to be some differentiation. As I said, we all collect digital dust on our phone with these apps. So the important thing was to build something that creates this need and this want for the consumer to keep coming back to the app versus I downloaded your app because I got 15% off when I downloaded it, and I'm done. I'm one and done. We wanted to create that experience that makes you want to come back. There's something to look forward to on the app. So the goals that we set were, of course, downloads, et cetera, purchases, a percent of our total sales, expectations of how much will come from the app, et cetera. And the other thing is that we wanted to ensure that we had the flexibility. Like I said earlier, the goal was to have flexibility. That was a big goal for us. So we could evolve it. The timeline, I would say, we were about, probably a good nine months in the end-to-end process. Maybe a little bit longer when you take in the RFPs, getting the board to approve the budget, et cetera. The actual development, et cetera, took about 9 months. We had an earlier launch date. We put it in front of some of our customers. They gave us a lot of feedback, and we were like, okay, it's not ready. It's too soon. Mm-hmm. So we kept tweaking, put it back in front of the customers, and we launched it earlier this year.
Well, that's great. And I think, as you talked about, you guys kind of had the vision and you brought it to this third party development team that could make that reality, that vision into reality. So that's kind of the behind the scenes process. I want to follow up on the experience, the user experience specifically, Scott. Talk about, in addition to being able to browse and shop for and purchase product on the True Religion mobile app, are there other things that users are able to do? What's the experience as you talk about creating a digital touch point that consumers are going to want to come back to, again and again? Talk about the experience you've created.
So there's a few things in there specifically around what we're doing and what we created to help the customer want to come back again and again. First, I'll touch on some of the other functionality. So in the app, you can scan a barcode when you're in the store, so you can find the product. You'll find it online. We're not yet integrated with store inventory. That's definitely something we want to get to. Other things are you'll have a curated shopping experience that will be different from the website. In addition, we have our wish list. We have easier navigation when you shop. There's more visualization, more visual guidelines, if you will, like new arrivals, denim, men's, et cetera. Like instead of just saying denim, we're showing a pair of denim with the words. So that's some of it's kind of, basics, but it's also just the ease of seeing the product in a much more engaging way, that it's just more rich data, more rich content, and that because it's a smaller device and it's not a mobile web, but it's the app. Some of the other things that we'll have that we've done already and that we'll continue to do for our customers is we're treating the app as this exclusive space to engage with us. So that will look like things where we launch limited product and we will launch it only on the app, or we'll launch capsules early on the app, and we will let our customers that are on the app. We will send them notifications and get them excited about the new collection that's going to launch. Stay tuned, keep in touch, right? We'll send them push notifications. So they're the first to have the opportunity to look at that product, purchase that product. We also have a concept called the Vault. So the Vault is platform agnostic. The Vault could be on the app. The Vault could be an actual physical pop-up concept. The Vault could be on the web. It could be on all of them, or it could be just one exclusively. So earlier this year, and we'll do some more of this, where we launched product that very limited run, very low SKU count. And we wanted to make sure that we created this space where you said you can only go to the app, go to the Vault, you're in the Vault, it's exclusive, only you get here, and you can make that purchase on the app. So we'll continue to do more of those types of activations as well.
Yeah, so that we're bringing that exclusivity to the app too. You need to be there to get this access.
Exactly.
Wow, that's great. How will this mobile app? Thinking about the customer experience, it's not linear. The consumers are in so many different channels. So how will the mobile app be a complementary tool for True Religion's other transaction channels, namely your stores, which you've already mentioned, and also the e-commerce website as well?
Well, part of it is we know it's important, especially we know it's important at the store level, the app, because what's on our roadmap is, the ability to talk to the customer out in the physical world. So if they're in a True Religion store, or when they're in a True Religion store, they can get a notification. We will have enough information about them to, do some type of personal greeting, let them know about whatever sale or event is happening in the store. And even today, we've made it very easy for the consumer to walk into a True Religion store, scan a QR code, download the app, get an offer that they can take advantage of right then and there. Again, we'll be able to scan the products. You can find out exactly what it is, and the store can help you find your size. And if they don't have it, then you know that it's online. You can order it right then and there. Of course, we love to sell product in our stores. And just all the notifications that we can do for customers as we go around, as they go around rather, shopping in their IRL. So that's important. As for e-commerce, it is that complementary experience. And our goal is, we know that people are going to continue shopping on the site. We want them to continue shopping on the site. And we know that we need a cleaner, easier experience on the mobile, on the app itself. So making sure that while we complement the site, we're not a copy paste of the site. Otherwise, you just go to a web browser. We want to make sure that it is more streamlined, that it's easier to shop, that it's telling relevant stories and even different stories than the website itself. And it could, like I said, it could have unique offers to the app only. But what it's doing now is helping us with our revenue as well as traffic increases that we need to get to our ultimate goal of e-commerce being 50% of total business by 2025. So what we're seeing today even is people are starting on the website, whether it's on their mobile device or desktop, they're getting the app, and then they're continuing that experience on the app because it's just slick. You know what I mean? It's just easier to find what you want to get to, and fewer friction points.
So you've created this, to use your words, slick, easy experience for your customers, the users of the True Religion app. It's recently been launched. So with that in mind, what are you doing to create awareness in the market among existing consumers, target prospects, that you've launched an app? How are you kind of creating that strategy for driving downloads?
Well, there's a handful of strategies and tactics that we're doing. One, of course, is we have, and we will continue to email our file in email as well as in SMS. Especially the SMS audience has really taken off and adopted this app platform, which makes sense, right? That's where they like to engage us, on SMS, and so it makes sense. So part of it is the outreach to our file to let them know about it, making sure that we are talking to the most loyal, if you will, of consumers first. The other is we have had placement at various in-person events that we have done where we talk about the app. We talked about it earlier in the year. The app was coming. We had the QR codes in stores. We've done growth marketing. We've had paid placement out there. Of course, we have it on our site. We put it in our emails so customers know that we have it. And of course, on the in the footer, like everybody else, you have an icon for the 2 stores that you can download the app in. And then what we'll continue to do, again, will be around the exclusivity. So as we start to see, or as we plan for 2023's collabs and capsule launches, we'll continue to market that in all of those various channels, especially in the paid channel, where we can get people excited.
So you've done all this work to create this app, and next step, you put it out in the market, and then you see how it's performing. You mentioned you initially launched it. You had this kind of beta test with a small subset of your customers, got feedback, and then iterated on that, made some adjustments, relaunched. As you go through that process, I'm imagining you've set some goals and kind of looking at performance. Tell us a little bit about the measurement process there, and how frequently you're measuring and then subsequently making updates based upon the data that you're collecting.
Well, of course, this is why I love being in the digital space. We can see what's happening in basically real time. So we look at data every day, right? We're looking at what's happening. We're looking at how many active users we have, what's our conversion rate, how many are first app opens, like they downloaded it, now they open it and they're purchasing. And of course, all the other traditional KPIs you'd want, right? You want your AOV, your traffic, et cetera, UPTs. So we're looking at all of that. Then the other is, we are looking at what are they doing when they're on the app? Are they, like we look on the website, time on page. How long are they on the app? Are they there as long as the website? Or are they there for less amount of time? And that's a KPI that we'll pay attention to based upon the various things that are happening, especially when we get into more evolution, if you will, the evolution in 2023 of the app, where again, we will have more, what I like to call community, where we're going to do things on the app that may or may not intentionally be like this, go to the app, buy a product and leave. More of a come to the app, learn about how to style this, hear from an editor, hear from our design team, and engage the customer in a real relationship versus just a transaction. So that's, to me, the most important thing is creating a relationship, and the app to me creates that space. So we will be looking at, how long are they on the app, making sure that they come back. And as I said, like right now, it's a little, we're in Q4. So much of the testing is as needed and more minimal. But as we get out of Q4, we will again start to make more changes, test it, put it in front of consumers, and tweak it as we need to make sure that they're having the best possible experience and that we're getting a good return for our investment.
Yeah.
Again, it's funny because the app takes a lot of resources in order to make it what we want it to be, which is relevant and constantly fresh. So we want to make sure that we're putting in the right amount of work, not too much, not too little, so the customers have a good experience and we get a good return.
Yeah, and it's a continual process, right, Scott? This isn't
Constantly.
something you just, based upon what you're seeing and what you're hearing from your customers as well.
Right. What's working today may not work in February, March.
Yeah, it's a great point. I want to take the opportunity to thank Scott McCabe, Senior Vice President of E-commerce at True Religion, for joining us on today's episode of Total Retail Talks and discussing all the details of its exciting new mobile application that the brand has launched. So thanks for joining me on today's show, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.